we want to give a shout out to Shinola, man. Shout out to Shinola coming through with the watches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Believe 313.
Big business
Shout out to
Kelly, man.
y'all see what time it is. And also, we want to give a special shout out to the amazing, the wonderful Miss Fire Your Landlord in the building today. Give it up. Let's give it up for Miss Sade. How you doing today? How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. First of all, I want to congratulate y'all on a proposal. Congratulations. That is a very amazing step, you know, especially from a black man, you know what I'm saying, doing that and you know, coming together with the business relationship and, you know, just conjoining. I really, really, really appreciate seeing that type of stuff because it give me hope. You know what I'm saying? It definitely give me hope because, you know, it's been times where it be like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to get married, but to see a brother like you marry an amazing woman like that, that's just, you know, mind blowing to me. So I want to give it up for that as well. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
I also want to, you know, tell our supporters, thank you so much. Yesterday we did a giveaway. Shout out to Wanko's, a food drive yesterday where we, you know, gave away, you know, some food. Will help pay for some food yesterday to the community. That turnout was amazing. And like I said, some of this stuff just be mind blowing. And I heard something today in church, and the pastor was saying basically like, you got to do a lot of these things for God and not for man. And these are how you receive your blessings. You know what I'm saying? And I really love doing that type of stuff. And I really believe that that's my purpose, a part of my purpose. And for him to say that today really stuck out to me. And that means I'm doing the right thing. I'm around the right people. And God is opening up doors for us that I couldn't even believe, especially being around amazing people like y'all and my co-host as well, man. So thank y'all again, man, for tuning in to another episode of the Stab Lab podcast. First of all, you can follow us at the Stab Lab Network on Instagram. You can follow us on YouTube at the Stab Lab Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, Perfect Timing, PERFECT_TIMING. Where can they find you at, my brother?
You can always find me at Believe 313 Staffing on Instagram, on Facebook. That's my email. That's my website. Across any social media platforms.
And where can they find you at?
I'm so_by_Sade on Instagram, and I'm Sade Harper on Facebook. And then my website, soldbysade.com.
All righty. Where can they find you at, my brother?
Instagram, Lord Poe, everydaypoe.com.
Nice. I want to start this podcast. So, well, we're not a podcast no more. We a show. Like, this is a real TV show.
It's a show.
You know what I'm saying? We not a podcast. We blew it out the water. But shout out to Warren Buffett. He was saying basically someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. And this quote highlights the importance of investing for the long term and the benefits of delayed gratification. Just as planting a tree, and it takes time to grow. You know what I'm saying? And it's like investing. A lot of people want to see and reap the benefits now, and they want to see, you know, the rewards now. You know what I'm saying? And that quote stuck out to me. Y'all investors, and it's like, you know, Warren Buffett is one of the best investors that I follow and been following a long time. And it's saying basically like don't want to reap the benefits right now. Like, it's gonna take time. You're gonna take losses. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly feel like losses are part of life, and these are some things that we need to do. Can you kind of speak on that a little bit on you know, investing and, you know, kind of not wanting to rush and, you know, feel that gratification?
Yes. Okay. So I think, well, for me personally, not personally, but business-wise, a lot of people think that, okay, I got this lump sum of money like we were talking about earlier, and, you know, I just want to put it into real estate. And the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you bear the fruit. Mm-hmm. And so you have to wait. You know, it's a process. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean that it's something happening in the background.
Right.
So just with real estate, you know, you got to learn. It's really important to learn the process first. And then once you learn that process, then you plant the seed, and then you'll start reaping the fruits of your labor.
Right.
Respect.
Yeah.
She said something very key that I want to point out.
Very key.
Learn the process first. So before you jump head in, make sure you got a plan, you know, the general direction that you're headed into, and be prepared to go through the obstacles and everything, because we often think just because I got the money and now you feeling some type of way, you feeling a little froggy, that everything supposed to just work out, and that ain't how it goes. So you still got to do your homework, even though you got the money too.
Right. Most definitely. So before we get into these topics and things of that sort, give them a little bit of background of where you came from, how you got started, and things of that sort.
All right, so I grew up on 7 Mile and Hoover.
Oh, okay, from the east side.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hoover. Okay,
That's where I'm from.
All right.
Baby.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
2 family flat on the corner.
All right.
Yep. So I grew up 7 Mile and Hoover, went to Osborne, all that good stuff.
What?
Straight up red zone, right?
Wow.
Yeah, OB in the building. 48205.
Shout out to the east side of here.
East side in the building.
I went to Osborne for I think a couple 2 years, and then I went to Davis Aerospace. So I graduated from Davis Aerospace. So dang, I can't get no shout out for Davis Aerospace.
See, I don't know nobody who went to.
You lost us.
Yeah.
You lost us at that point.
Sorry about that.
My bad.
That's cool. So Davis Aerospace was an airplane high school. We were right behind the city airport, and we used to be able to fly airplanes in high school.
Right. I used to always see that. Yeah. Okay.
So I ended up graduating from there. Back in 2004, when I was leaving out, clearing out my locker, my science teacher came up to me and said, "So what you gonna do now?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think I want to get into real estate." And you know what inspired that was Donald Trump.
Shout out to Donnie.
All right. We got to get Donnie some type of credit. Okay.
Yeah,
Big
I
Don.
mean, yeah, it ain't all bad.
Right.
So that kind of my me wanting to learn about real estate was inspired by Donald Trump. And he had a book out. It was called The Art of the Deal. And so that fascinated me. And so when I went to college, I took up my major was finance, corporate finance at Wayne State.
Shout out to Wayne State too, man. I always, not to cut you off, but he hate when I talk about Wayne State. It's the degree right behind you. It took a lot of money, and a lot of time. But shout out
whole lot of money.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so once I went to Wayne, graduated from high school, went to Wayne State. I signed up. I knew I wanted to take on business. I didn't know what business. I just knew I wanted to go to school for business. And so so when I went to my school to get my classes or whatnot, I was looking down the line, and then under corporate finance, it had real estate. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be in real estate when I take these classes. So a few months into me taking these classes, I wasn't learning nothing about real estate.
Wow, really? That's crazy.
That's how it be.
I ain't learned nothing about real estate. I'm just learning numbers, really, just numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I ended up taking a class at Middleton Real Estate School, and so I thought that I needed to get my real estate license in order to be a real estate investor. And I found out when I was in a class that wasn't true either. So went to the class, got my real estate license. Okay, now what? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Century 21. I'm gonna go to Remax. I really didn't know what I was doing. So I'm going back to school. I'm taking classes at Wayne State during the daytime, and then at night I'm going to real estate school. So finally got my license, passed the test, the real estate class, and I was trying to get into real estate, just didn't know how to. And so what I did was, it was a lady living next door to me. Her friend was into real estate. I didn't know this at the time, but I would always see her pull up in a new car. She was fresh. Every other month she was in a new car.
Motivation.
Okay, so one day I asked her, I said, "What you do?" And she was like, "I'm into real estate." And so from there, I asked her to become my mentor. And then after that, history was made. So she was taking me around town, showing me the different neighborhoods. And I'm like, we driving and we riding. She picking up money. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
How can I get into this?
Right.
And so what I did was I'm still taking my classes at Wayne State. I said, I'm about to give me a student loan. Got me a student loan and bought me some real estate. So she taking me around town. I said, so I called her. I said, Keisha, I got the check. And she was like, okay. So we started riding around town. She's showing me houses. And she was like, oh, I found a 2-family flat in Russell Woods. I'm like, oh, okay.
That was your very first house you purchased?
My
Russell
very first
Woods.
property.
Nice.
I didn't know nothing about Russell Woods. I'm like, okay, cool, let's get it. So she take me over to the house. She like, yeah, it's going to need this, and this. She was cold with it because she had been doing real estate for so long.
Right.
She could break down what I was going to need, what contractors to bring in, all of this kind of stuff. So she was explaining to me the process. We got to the closing table. She walked me through the whole deal. She walked me through getting contractors, vetting tenants, all kind of stuff. So I got this 2-family flat in Russell Woods, and I worked on that, fixed it up. We worked on the downstairs unit first because that one was more put together than the upstairs unit. So I worked on that one, got that one, put a tenant in there, started working on the upstairs. Okay, so I got, now at this time, it took me about 4 months to rehab the upstairs.
Mm.
And so I got done with the upstairs. And so now I'm getting like almost $2,000 a month. I don't have no job. I don't have no bills. I'm living with my grandparents. I got a regular car that I don't pay for, but I took this money and I bought some real estate.
Right.
And so, so I'm collecting rent. I'm like, okay, it's good money. It's decent money. I'm like 21 at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it's decent money. I ain't got to do nothing but go party and hang out and this, that, and the third. And so after I'm collecting this rent, I said, you know what, I'm going to go get me a job. And so I'm looking on Wayne State's website, and on their internal business school, they have like an internal job listings, and it said tax company was hiring.
Mm.
And so this how I met Ebony Cochran. So
Shout out to Ebony Cochran too, man.
Shout out to Big
the
Ed.
coldest credit repair, everything. She everything.
yeah,
But go ahead.
Yeah. So that's how I ran into Ebony Cochran. I applied for the job. It said like personal assistant. And I said, okay, so, and it was the street was on Whittier. I'm like, cool, it's still in the hood.
On the east side, right.
I could be here near the crib and everything. It works out. So I did an interview with her. She hired me. So I had been working as her personal assistant. And during one of the questions she asked me at the interview was, what do you want to do once tax season is over? Because this when she had her tax company back then. I said, I want to own a real estate company. I want to buy more real estate. She's like, okay, cool, I got you. So I got my my rental property going, my 2-family flat on the west side. I think I'm, doing something right. So Ebony she had showed me how to do the property tax auctions. At the end of the year, they come every year in October.
Right.
So we get this list. We driving around. We looking at the houses. She said, she gave me the game, told me what to do, how to get into the.
And that's the Wayne County auction, right? Or, the auction that comes once a year. Or does it come once a year or twice a year?
Once a year.
Okay.
Well, it technically comes twice a year, but the one that we wait for is the one that's the second auction, because the houses are reduced at that point. Because if they don't sell on the first auction, they sell on the second auction.
Okay.
Okay, so she turned me on to the auctions, and so I'm saving up my money from the rental property, right? And I take $3,200 to the tax auction. I bought 4 houses. Those 4 houses, I cleaned. 2 of them were already occupied with people, and so I sold them back the house that they were living in. Sold it back to them. So I ended up off each property, I made $40,000. I took my
testimony, right?
Took that 32.
Testimony. That's definitely a testimony.
Yes.
Took that 32.
I took my $3,200 and I turned it into $40,000. I'm up. I'm like, I'm waiting for next year auction.
Right.
But so in the meantime, I'm still looking for other properties, but the prices were so high. I'm like, no, I'm gonna just wait for the auction. And then that's kind of really where my journey kind of started with real estate.
You didn't look back. Yeah.
A great journey.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. I wasn't expecting that journey. You know what I'm saying?
She honestly just told me about it not too long ago, and I said, "Damn, $3,227 together."
Yeah, that's an amazing story. So can you? I have a lot of people who are first time buyers, and they haven't right now, especially since the inflation and what's going on right now. They having the worst time finding houses and things of that sort. Can you give us some advice on first time home buyers?
Yep. One of the main things is to just be diligent and don't try to spend outside of your budget. If you can't afford it, don't try to shoot for the stars. And you just have to save as much money as possible, because I did an open house today for one of my listings. One of my clients is trying to sell a house in St. Clair Shores. $320,000 house in St. Clair Shores.
In St. Clair Shores?
St. Clair. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. 230.
I'm about to say, wow, is that a mansion? Okay.
My bad. 230,000 in St. Clair Shores, and somebody came in today and offered us 320 cash. So you competing with these people who have cash, and a lot of them are foreigners, and so they kind of take me back too. I missed this point with the auction. The auction back a few years ago was really, really good until the out-of-state and out-of-country investors started to get into them. And so the same auctions that I was fighting over houses for $500, $800, they're bidding those properties up to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 now.
Wow.
And so the main thing is you really got to be diligent, and you got to have some money.
I just seen the backstory on why they're doing that, what the out-of-towners are doing with it. And basically they were saying in New York why it's so much prime real estate that's bought, but nobody occupies it. They're like, this is the strangest thing ever. But what end up happening, they tell us is that out of the country investors, what they do, buy these properties up and they don't rent them out and they don't live in it. And what happens is it's a straight up investment. I might get the terminology wrong, but it's a straight up investment. And then they can take that property and go borrow against it with the bank. Keep the money, then put it in the stock market, and then boom, that's how you wash your money.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of out of country investors understand buy and hold though. You know, they understand the growth. They understand that you buy property and you wait. You know what I mean? So those same out of town investors, if they were smart, if I knew then what I know now, I would have kept those properties that I sold for 40,000 because I could have sold them for 60, 70,000 each. Now.
But who knew though?
Nobody
you know what I'm saying?
knew.
Yeah.
But a lot of people who are educated in that field and whatnot, and they know about investments, they know that you buy property and you wait.
Right.
And so a lot of out of state investors, if they're going to borrow against it, but they know that the value, if they bought it 2-3 years ago, they know the value has almost probably tripled or quadrupled at this point.
Exactly.
Like I bought a house on the east side, right off Fairmount, at 8 Mile and Gratiot 2 years ago. I paid $10,000 for the house. Today that house is worth maybe $100,000.
Now, I got a question for you, right? So you just said buy and hold. What actually makes the property's value increase? 'Cause if nothing has changed but time, what made that value go up?
Well, we know the time value of money though.
Mm-hmm.
Once you invest money over time, it's going to create more money, right? So, but you just watch the market. You don't, you never know. But you know that if you can find a distressed property in a great area, and you buy it and you hold on to it, you know that's going to be a good investment.
I've seen some people that kind of monopolize it. Like they might go in an area that is maybe not the best.
And they try to bring up the comps.
Yeah.
They create value there. And
they might buy up like
too.
3 or 4 in that area. And once this one sells for, let's say everything in that area was going for 80, but he buys a property, fixes it up, and he gets it to sell for 110. Now, if that sold over there for 110, then the rest of everything over here must be worth 110.
Exactly.
And that's how they be doing it, bringing up the value.
But and I was talking to some of the ladies in this investment group that I'm a part of, and I was telling her how I ran into some lenders or whatnot, and I was telling her now we can capitalize on neighborhoods. And we can drive the comps up in the neighborhood and make the value of a neighborhood, a specific neighborhood, go up.
Right.
So that's how you do it group-wise. You can invest some money all together. Say we all put some money up and we say, okay, we're going to buy 10 houses on this block. We improve them. And because a house is only worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So break that down a little bit because I like this house here. It was he wanted 130 or whatever. And you know, he had to do some repairs or whatnot. And then we basically kind of looked at, you know, the area and stuff. All of that played a part. And he was asking more because I was a first-time home buyer. Now, a lot of people are doing that now. This was when the pandemic, you know, kind of was ending a little bit. And they knew that everybody was either going, you got to rent or you got to buy or you got to go. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, okay, well, you're going to give me this 130. But I didn't know the proper steps to get an appraisal, you know what I'm saying, find a home lender. I had to get my credit straight, things of that sort. And I know a lot of people who are almost going through the same thing now and having trouble with that process. Can you kind of break that down for us? Basically like, okay, first you get the APR rate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm not a lender, but I used to work at Quicken Loans. And so, but one of the misconceptions is that you need to get a pre-approval before you start working with a realtor.
So you don't?
Well, for me, because this is what I tell people that want to work with me or are going to work with me. We need to have a consultation first.
Okay.
Because I need to put you in a position so that when you go for your mortgage pre-approval, you know what to say and what not to say. You know what to give and not to give.
Okay.
Right? And so consult with a realtor first before anything. Well, that's what my method. Now, other people may want you to come with a pre-approval first. But we have to have a consultation. I need to look at your credit report because if your credit whack, I got to send you to Ebony, right?
Exactly. Shout out to Ebony. That's what I had to do. Yeah, right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Miss Ebony, I might need to come find you.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry
She
about it. I'll
around.
hook you up
Yeah,
soon.
she
I'll
definitely
tell you
around.
something with.
Yep. So because I need to have a consultation, I need to know if you got income, assets. I need to know what your blueprint is. I need to know if you got some money in the bank. If you don't, we need to figure out how to get you some money. Do you need concessions?
313.
Yeah.
Come get a job.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Shameless plug.
It's connected, yeah.
It's all circle.
Yep. So, it's a lot of things that go into you can't just go get a mortgage pre-approval. You need to consult with somebody first. It's no different than, you have to go have an operation or something. You got to have a consultation before you have an operation.
Right, exactly.
And so you need to consult with somebody beforehand. And a lot of lenders don't know real estate, and real estate people don't know lending, right? And so because I worked at Quicken Loans, I have experience being an underwriter because I used to approve mortgages and deny mortgages based on what their background looked like. So I have experience here, and I can tell you whether or not you're going to qualify for a mortgage at that point. So, like I said, going back, you have to get with a realtor first who can help you build what you need and get everything in order, get all your paperwork and things of that sort in order. Once you do that, then I'll send you to a lender because every mortgage lender is not created equally.
Nope.
Okay. So I've had offers accepted for my clients just based on the lender because they know that the lender does good work.
Okay.
So your lender and your realtor play a very important part into your home buying process.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They just jump into the game and think, okay, well, I got pre-approved, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
no, you got a whole.
Yeah, if you went on the internet and Googled pre-approval, you want to buy a house, and a lender pops up, and they see your pre-approval just based off what you told them your credit score was, because it's lenders that do that.
Right.
So you want to make sure one of the main things too, you want to make sure you have a local lender, somebody that you can reach out and call in the middle of the night. Like I can call all my lenders right now and say, can you run this person's profile for me and let me know whether or not they'll be approved?
Same thing I was telling you, Cal, with the merch. I was saying before you go online and buy it, some people that's in our area that you can actually go be hands-on.
Right.
Because if you need to change something up or see the process, it's easier to shoot the telegraph than it is to
Email China.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna get 3 days for email.
And listen, 8 a.m. Chinatown is 8 p.m. here. Trying to catch them, so I understand it.
No, yeah, it make more sense though. Like you said, you got to go through it though. Like you went through all of these processes, working at Quicken Loans and working for Ebony and stuff. You had to go through that to get to the place, you know what I'm saying, that you are now. Can you give us some real estate investing tips? So I seen y'all was walking through a $500 house earlier this week, right? And I don't know, Mr. Believe 313 was like, y'all see this? And I just laughing the whole video,
that's what
man.
She loves. She want to buy all the $500,000 houses. She loves the process of fixing it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From when it's crazy looking to like halfway. Then once it get halfway, she like, I want to find something else.
But the process be so stressful.
But do you like the process?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Add pressure.
I don't know. It's just like a gym head. Somebody that goes to the gym consistently.
Right.
They pushing themselves each time more and more and more. I get an adrenaline rush from doing real estate.
Okay, so the thing about it is, okay, everybody be like, okay, I got this $500 house now, and thinking they're gonna sell it for $30,000, like you said earlier. Is that the same as like it used to be? Because I know I bought a house by the Osborne area for like $500, but I had to put 40 into it. You know what I'm saying? And I gave it away. Like, I'm not about to do this. But everybody think you're gonna get rich. It's a quick get rich scheme, basically. But it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, it's not. The cheat sheet is to have a mentor. Have somebody to help you. That's the cheat sheet to success in real estate. Maybe to many different businesses, that's the cheat sheet or the cheat code.
Right.
But you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna buy this house, it's $500, and not know what the houses in the area is selling for. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to calculate your expenses. You need to know how much it's gonna cost you to put this house back together, because if you buy a $500 house and it costs you $60,000 to put it together,
exactly,
and you can only sell it for $45,000,
exactly,
you upside down.
So how do you do your research with that though? Like, you got to basically know the area, know the market.
So as a realtor, I have access to something called Real Comp, and Real Comp, that's where I run comps and find out what the houses in the area is selling for. That's how you learn how to price a property.
Now,
with Real Comp.
Now, when you say comp, can you break that?
What is comps?
Cause she's talking in her
she's
normal
talking
lingo.
state language.
And I'm
But it's somebody out there.
I'm acting like I know what comp means.
Nah, this is a whole
30
different kind of
minutes.
comp.
Bro, I just learned it about 2 months ago. It's okay. So,
Wow.
Yeah. He wake up talking about what's the PRP and the
Right.
I'm like, what? So a comp is just basically telling you the comparables in the area. So if you got a house down, let's say let's pick a street, Ashbury Park. You got a house on Ashbury Park. You know the house down the street on the corner sold for $250,000. You know the other house down and that one is fully renovated. You know the other house down the street is selling for $100,000, but that house may need $50,000 to $70,000 worth of work.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab up this $100,000 house because I know I can potentially make $250,000 off of it.
Okay.
You know, so that's comps is just basically the houses that recently sold in the area.
Okay.
So that's what a comp is.
Thanks.
So as an investor, I run comps even for my buyers to make sure that they're not buying a house that's more than what it's worth, right? And even when you're working with clients that want to sell houses, you have to make sure that their expectations are realistic about what they want to sell the house for.
Okay.
So you may say, I got this house and I want to sell it for $300,000, but the houses in the area only sell it for $200,000. So that's when you run the comps on them and see how much the houses in the area are going for.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So how would everybody know that though? Is this like a secret society? You get what I'm saying? Oh, it is. Okay. So you got to get in there.
Yeah.
So you got to get in there. I get it though, because it's basically everything you do is like, I don't want to basically sell the course and I just can't give it to you for free. That's like you know what I'm saying? You did your homework before and I still see you doing, part of your job is you hire a lot of people, but you still get in there and do the work. You know what I'm saying? It's not, people think it's easy. You know what I'm saying? I really hate that. Y'all really got to do the work behind.
Entrepreneurship is a real grind.
Yeah, it's a real grind. You know what's crazy? You asked what we did this weekend. Ebony's birthday was Thursday or Friday, I want to say. It was her party at Good Vibes. And we're there with Portia, who owns Good Vibes, and her husband. And a rush came in where they both had to get up. He was washing dishes. She was bussing tables, making drinks, making food.
You know what?
Then 2 days prior to that, we had a gentleman who called off. He had an incident with him and his wife.
And we had to go clean
We
the
had
vacuum.
it. She's back there.
Oh, she wasn't happy about that.
We had just came from my birthday party and had to go from there to.
Wow, really?
Yeah, she had to go vacuum. I had to go change the trash, clean the toilet.
But see, it's this Mexican spot over there. They got some good tacos.
Oh, so it was. Oh, okay. I get it.
So I'm gonna go as long as I get these good tacos.
I get it.
Listen, man, I literally just got into it with a family member over entrepreneurship because I say it's part of the grind. I'm gonna keep grinding this, that, and the other. And they kind of try to like shit on me a little bit and knock my hustle. And I had to remind them quick, like, don't forget who I am now and who you not. You try to look down on me. Don't forget, at 25, I made more than you'll ever see in your life.
Sometimes you gotta let people know that. You know.
So relax, pipe down.
I think people get the misconception that because you're an entrepreneur, you straight up just boss. You already go to the top level.
I think that
you really got to grind it out too.
I think it'd be a disconnect with and it's no disrespect anybody, but for someone that just clocks in every day just to get their 8 hours and get their check and go home versus the owner-operator mentality.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And you get people that just only can see things from that one side. Because with us being entrepreneurs, we might be down for 90 days, 4 months, whatever the case is. And if you're seeing this person every day, they might get the misconception that you're lazy, that you're not really working. You know what I mean? But it's like you don't see everything takes time, and you got to piece this stuff together brick by brick, lay a brick every single day. And you might not see them results. It might take a minute. I literally just was going through this with somebody, but I'm not about to sit here and break down every single thing I'm doing to try to, you know what I'm saying?
It's tough though, but you got to let people know, like, entrepreneurship is not a 9 to 5. It's an every day, all day.
24 hours.
You know what I'm saying? Because we was in the, like you said, we was in the party. I said, what up to y'all, whatever. Y'all was gone. And now that you tell me, you said y'all went to work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
$4,000 suit on.
Yeah, talk
some people ain't with that. They be like, no, I'm straight, I get to it. But to keep that business running, sometimes it's a never ending job.
Yeah, so
man.
The wheel has to keep going. The train cannot stop.
Right. Listen.
Especially for no person that's clocking in. Not like you said, no disrespect to nobody, but I can't let a person who's working from 9 to 5 stop the whole process. You know, we may have 150 people working a weekend, but one person can destroy it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't allow that.
Right.
So I have to get up at any time. If I got to drive an hour and a half to a plant or whatever it may be, I'm going to make it happen because the process got to keep going.
Right.
Man, Friday morning, I was up at like 3:30 a.m. Somebody hit my phone, but it was my Cash App going off. They paying for the service that they need. You know what I mean? You got to be able to be up. Some your partner might not understand that, thinking, "Oh, who's calling your phone this late?" No, it's really money.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of times too, in this nature, in this season that I am, I know for a fact that I'm probably better off just being by myself right now until I done reach that point where I mentally got the space to pour into, you know, a woman's cup or whoever I want to date. Yeah. Because I ain't got time to be juggling this and you nagging about you don't understand this. I'm gonna get to you.
Yeah, and that's fine though.
I'm gonna get back with
that's
you.
fine. I had to do the same thing though, honestly, brother. When I first started this process and I met Sade, I knew I had to get my shit together.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting up going to work. That whole process that everybody was seeing, I knew that in order to have what I really wanted, I had to make sure all that was done right. I had to get up and make it work.
Right.
And, I didn't want, like you're saying, you wanted to make sure that you with somebody that you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, understand what it is. We're both busy. Our phones, she got 2 phones, I got one, and they both, all of them jumping. So we understand the grind, the hustle. And then right now, it's really about having somebody that really understands what they're doing. So I understand that she's going to be showing houses 3-4 times a day.
That alignment, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that her phone is going to never stop ringing for real estate, Google calls, Redfin, whatever the calls or where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's never going to stop. So, but it's good to have an entrepreneur that understands where you're going.
Right. How do y'all balance work life and personal life? Basically, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like you just said, I know that her phone gonna ring all day.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And I know his phone might ring all day because y'all are 2 entrepreneurs. But okay, put it like this: if she worked a 9 to 5 and you was an entrepreneur, she wouldn't understand your business.
Yeah, I be calling like,
Man.
Yeah, like where you at? Who was that? Like,
Man,
where's his phone?
Listen, Cal, she just made a great point. What I be referencing, right? When we talk about the whole dating thing, and you know, I'm personally, I get attacked because they have the impression that I don't go out on dates. But what y'all just said, right? Y'all was actually at an event, then y'all went to work.
Yep.
But she said, I don't mind going to work because it's a nice food spot over there that we gonna hit after we done. And that's the exact same time I be on. Like, let's actually be busy working and doing what we need to do. Then we look at the clock. You know what? We can still make Benihana lunch. Come on, let's go.
Right.
I'd rather do things like that versus the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's
Waste of time, yeah.
That's the exact example of what I need in my life and what I be referencing in real time.
But it's a reason that this young man proposed to this young lady. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you gotta have a lot. Yeah, shout out.
Listen,
you gotta weed them out though.
Most definitely, you gotta weed them out. Everything that she's saying. I mean, I don't even have to say anything. You see why?
Yeah.
You know, she's highly intelligent in her field.
She came alive like she said she was.
Yeah, she did. Just a little warm up. Yeah.
You gotta stop her. You know, she's talking about she's nervous and all this. No, you gotta stop her. But you know, she motivates me. You know, I ain't never really. I've been looking for someone that motivates me, you know, and I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, she on the computer. I mean, hey, it's time
like
to
the
get
other
up.
day, I said, go get another account.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what you need.
No, for real, she was talking to me, bro, like I ain't have a job.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen.
You out here getting too lazy. You just too.
But you need it though.
That's
You
what
need
you
it.
need.
She do the same thing. She be like, okay, did you get those goals reached? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I be like, damn.
She told me to go drive up and down Grossback and go door to door. I said,
Ooh, she's hungry.
Yeah.
Like that.
she said, you got to go drive up and down Grossback. It's too many buildings. You can be staffing and cleaning or something.
Ooh, I
said,
love
all right.
that.
Yeah.
Called her 2-3 days later. Had Shane Park. Had another Ford.
Congratulations, my dog. Yeah.
That's what you need,
Yeah.
man.
But you need that though.
You need it.
That's what they don't be understanding, bro. You got a lot of women that want to be there to spend the money.
I want to do that too, though.
Yeah.
No,
That's
for sure
cool.
though. But you know how to make it too though.
But you there to actually be there to help them make the
Absolutely.
money. And it's vice versa. It's a two-way street with y'all. A lot of times these days it's superficial and nobody wants to help you make the money, but they want to help you spend it all day.
Right.
Yeah. And she's
big on saving.
Honestly, man, she's a saving animal.
Oh man.
Between the 1st and the 3rd of every month, anybody that's calling trying to get in contact with her, she's at that computer. Like, she just asked me the other day, what did I spend $6.41 on?
I love it. I love it.
$6.41.
Listen, it might be small to you, but it's big to her because she know it. You know what I'm saying? She understand like this 641 can go to something else.
Yeah, I got a degree in corporate finance.
Yeah.
So that's what I said when she was trying to look for something for real estate. She picked finance. It's coming in fruition now. It's all
Exactly.
working out
That's
now.
what's up.
But you know, this is my rock, man. Honestly,
Respect.
This is my rock.
How do y'all communicate as business partners? Are y'all business partners?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do y'all communicate as business partners? You know what I'm saying? Like basically, okay, well, this is what we gonna do. Like she just told you, okay, well, you can go look at 10 buildings this week. You know what I'm saying? Is it the same with you as well?
Yes. So far as what we're doing now, she hates this. If she can sit behind the computer and run comps and get houses and just make money all day, that's what she's happy. So I feel like I understand she's making a lot of money selling houses, investing, whole flipping and doing everything that she's doing. But I also know that the virtual money is endless.
It's blowing, man.
Virtual money, when she can sit in front of this camera and give that information and it can just come back. If I got to sit right here to get her, you know, to help her, give her that inspiration, let's do it.
Right.
So, but far as when I just said the finance side, she handles mine, my company, Believe 313 staffing, Believe 313 cleaning, security, transport, anything as far as financing, I put it in her hands. And like she said, I'm going to get the accounts. I'm doing all the, you know, the talking, the face-to-face. And I just come back and say, baby, we just got Shane. We got Aretha Franklin. This is the numbers. Let's put it together.
You putting in the hard work though. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I feel like that's, I ain't gonna say that's a man's job, but I feel like that's kind of like our responsibility.
Yeah, that's
Man, listen.
That's our responsibility, and we take on that. But like you said earlier, you had to make sure your ducks was in a row, so you are able to do that now. You know what I'm saying? And she can trust you, and you know what I'm saying? Kind of have the understanding, like, okay, well, I can trust my man that he can take care of all of that. I ain't got to be down his throat. I'll make a petty joke or whatever, but I know he gonna take care of all of that.
She know. Sometimes she try to. That little, what was Norva's girlfriend?
Shut
up.
Oh man,
Retribution.
She got that little retribution attitude sometimes, you know. But I knew that I had to get my shit in order,
right?
In order to say, hey, chill out. No, we're gonna do it this way.
Of course, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have no say so. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have no say so.
The power dynamic in the household.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But do you have any advice for people who want to get into the real estate game?
Yeah. Like I said, the cheat code is to get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get somebody that can help you and guide you and hold your hand through the process. Even if you're just trying to buy real estate as a first-time homeowner, you need to consult with somebody first. You need to have a conversation, a realistic conversation, and set your expectations and all of that before you just jump into something. And then on the investment side of things, get a mentor. Read a couple of books. Get on YouTube University.
Man.
I love YouTube University. I'm so glad you said that.
I say that so much on here, man, because we'll get to these topics and it's often the excuse used as, well, that's all they know.
Right.
I'll be like, dude, they got a learning disability. Right. Because even if you can't physically have a mentor right there to hold your hand, it's so many different people you can get on YouTube and study. You can study greats from all walks of life. Yeah. So it's really no excuse. Like, it's not like you don't have access to that World Wide Web.
And then, too, also, when you now, learning too much can be a hindrance, too. Yeah. Because you get analysis paralysis, right? You start studying so much, and you just get stuck on studying and not actually putting the actions into it.
Got to be a doer. It's a balance. Yeah. 50% studying and planning, 50% getting out there and doing. Because trial and error is going to be one of the best teachers.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, and that's the entrepreneur spirit that you have in you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's been plenty of times I was like, I need to learn. But like, okay, Calvin, just relax. You need to start putting in some work too.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
You get analysis paralysis, and you get stuck on just the learning part and not doing the action. But me, like I had the mentor. And then once I got that first one popped, it was on from there. I just was looking for more and more and more. Just kept going.
Do you basically say that people have to have a mentor to get to where you at, or basically it's the education?
No, you need somebody to walk you through this.
Yeah, you
Okay.
need somebody. I mean, if you think about what I said with Horatio Williams was my mentor.
Okay.
And when I went to give Shinola that proposal, if I would have never called him about the FOIA, I would have never known that I can pull the last company's contract to
Right.
learn how to price it. I would
Right.
be at $6,000 a month when they was really paying 18.
Yeah, I remember that story vividly.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And it's like a lot of people saying, okay, the mentors are a waste of time and a waste of money. You know
Hell
what I'm
no.
saying?
Well, some of them full of fluff.
Yeah,
They
because
are.
I don't want to put his name out here on Instagram, but it's a lot of those now. You know,
You
buy
can
this
tell,
house,
man.
buy this house for 1,000, or give me 1,000. We gonna make 40,000
Yeah.
without putting in the work. And now they're exposing these people. You get what I'm saying? But it's kind of
Thank
like
goodness.
it's making it bad for the real people who actually want to tell you, like, okay, this is the route right here. You ain't got to pay $100 million. You know what I'm saying? But you do need a mentor. You do need to take these steps. You do need to take some losses for sure. But a lot of people don't want to do that.
Listen,
It's gonna cost you more to make these mistakes as opposed to paying for a mentor.
Exactly.
Listen.
Right.
listen, one way to separate the fake and the phonies from the authentic, a person that can produce real results, he don't mind doing it for free because they know they can repeat that
That's a fact.
process.
That's a
So
fact.
if somebody can't do that exact thing, you know what I mean? Then it's iffy. It's a red flag there because why are you so pressed for that cheese when you supposed to be able to do this nonstop and sitting right? You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. If somebody gonna rock with you, it's called in the streets a tester. They can give you a tester.
Yeah, you know what? I learned this from Ebony Cochran. She said she don't really sell a lot of courses and things because she just give it away because it's like her tithes.
Right.
So that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? God has blessed me so much that I can't ask you for $199 for a book. Like, let me just give you what I got.
That's how I
And-
feel.
And if you take it on, because a lot of people want to start a cleaning company, then next year is going to be a transportation company. You got to stay consistent with it. So
Yep.
I'm going to give you this information. It's my task. So when you go to my consultation and you see it's free, and you're like, oh, man, I'm like, this is why. I want to see what you're going to do with it.
Yep.
Most definitely. And do you have any tips for people with negotiation skills, basically for, you know what I'm saying, when you want to go and buy a house and somebody wants 120, and of course the house not worth 120. Do you have any skills or any skills set to be like, I don't want you to tell all your business, but basically, you know what I'm saying, give people like, okay, try to talk them down to this or how to do it.
Yeah, it just depends on the quality. Well, okay, as a first-time home buyer or somebody that's trying to buy a property to live in, you want to compare it. Here we're gonna go back to the comps, right? You want to make sure the comps make sense. You want to make sure that that property that you're putting an offer in is comparable to the same property that just sold for 130. So if the one that you're putting an offer in is for 130, and it don't have no updated bathroom, the basement is messed up or things of that sort, but the house down the street is fully renovated and it's sold for 130, you're not getting 130 from me. 'Cause
Right.
This house, I still have to put $40,000 into this house.
Right.
You know, so just you have to, as a first time home buyer, get with an experienced realtor who can help you negotiate these things and know how to evaluate what construction cost is going to be, or how much value can a new kitchen or a new bathroom add to a property. Because appraisers, when they come out and do their appraisals, they put a value on a kitchen, they put a value on a bathroom, they put a value on an additional bedroom, they put a value on a finished basement. So you need to make sure that all of the numbers make sense. At the end of the day, it's just like what Jay-Z and all the other rappers say, the numbers got to make sense. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you trust these people though? You know, like the appraisers and stuff like that. Because I know
You
sometimes
ain't got no choice but to trust it now.
because I know do you get your own appraiser? You know what I'm saying? Or like I feel like some mortgage companies come with appraisers.
Yeah, so when you get a mortgage, you're going to automatically, because the mortgage company is not going to lend you or pay for a house more than what it's worth.
Right.
So you have to get an appraiser to come in and give you a true value of the property. Now I can run comps all day and tell you that I think this house is gonna appraise for X amount of dollars, but I may be off just a little bit because an appraiser has a different program that they're using to run these numbers, because they're official, because that's all they do is run numbers all day on properties and compute values of properties. So whenever you get a mortgage, you have to the house has to appraise for what the property is worth in order for them to give you the money for the mortgage.
Okay.
So you can't say I'm gonna go buy a $250,000 house, but the house is only worth $200,000. The mortgage company is not gonna give you the money for that because it has to appraise out. It has to make sense. The numbers have to work.
Do you kind of recommend people to go with a certain bank? or I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I do. I have preferred lenders.
Okay, we gonna leave that. There.
I wanted to touch on what we was just previously saying, as far as like tips on some finesse to work around things. I have a career, a corporate job career from 2009 to 14, and I was in sales. And one thing that helped me out a lot was I would under promise and over deliver.
Always.
That's the thing.
Always. Yep. You never want to shoot to the start. I had to stop him the other day because I got a listing that's coming up. And he told the lady, like, yeah, she going to do this. She can do, I'm telling you, she the truth. But I understand he want to hype me up and, put me up there. But I don't want to shoot too high. I don't want to, tell them that I'm going to do something. I like to surprise them. Say, oh, shoot, she did that. Well, because you want to.
That's smart, though.
Yeah, you don't want to overshoot, because something I may have intentions on doing, I may not be able to deliver.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to make sure I'm setting the expectations, some realistic expectations first.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if I can add to it, them the add-ons. Okay, that's where I get referrals from. That's where people say, oh, yeah, you need to fuck. You need to.
Yeah.
You need to fuck with Sade.
Yeah.
That's the east side in the end.
You gotta figure out them loopholes, man. That's what had me like the number one salesman in the Georgia, Carolina markets. I was working for a specific phone company at the time. I'm not gonna say their name, but what happens was, how we went from 2-year contracts to the financing of the phones. So I had so many people. I was working in rural Georgia, and so many people was against the finance and all that, whatever the case, right? But people was used to walking in the door to spend $200 for a phone, no matter what. All right, bet. So what I would do is I would under promise, and what ended up happening is I come back out with a new phone, car charger, and the case.
Because you knew the game.
Yeah.
You know how to finesse it.
Yeah.
I would have them out the door with their new phone, case, and charger, and they was expecting to pay $200. They spent $100 with me, and I got them all this most stuff. They would lose their mind out that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I had it bunking.
It made sense though. At the end of the day.
So I'm interviewing her too, also.
Go ahead.
That's what I like right here.
Can you tell us the difference between
Uh-uh.
line of credit, buying a house with a line of credit, or buying a house with a credit card? What are the differences? Because I'm hearing everybody about, I flipped the house with credit cards, and I did this with credit cards.
That's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up.
Credit cards, but I also know some people who get a line of credit to get these houses and different things. But can you give us your experience on those two?
First of all, I'm going to just say this. Buying a house on a credit card is fraud. Because if they find out that you done wired this money to the bank to buy a property, that you can get hit with fraud.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't.
Wow. You can't.
Because you're not supposed to use it. You're not getting a cash advance. You actually finessing the system to take the money off the credit card to buy a property.
How would they know though? Like,
if they find out.
oh, if they find out.
That's fraud.
Wow.
So if you went and cash advance off your credit card and then pay cash, that's cool.
That's fine.
But what's the other route?
Because you got a cash advance limit on your credit card, and
Right.
then you have an actual credit card limit. So
Correct.
my cash advance limit may be $5,000.
I got
They
you.
tell me that I can get that in cash.
Right.
Right. And then your credit card, you're supposed to charge it up, swipe it. You're not supposed to use it and try to finesse the system and pull the money off of the.
So I know your question you about to ask. So let's just say the little square.
Yeah.
And let's say you send me an ACH for $20,000. I got a credit card for $25,000.
Right.
You send me an ACH for $20,000. I used the credit card to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
The $20,000 go to the bank account. Then I
Okay.
can pull the money from the bank account.
Right.
I got you. I got you.
Wow.
So that's fraud. But if you do things right and got your credit and shit in order, and shout out to Ebony Cochran.
Shout out to once again.
Ebony, I'm about to
Ed.
come find
Hey,
you.
she helped me get this house.
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Ebony. I've been dealing with her
Yeah.
for a while.
But if you get you a line of credit, the money is always sitting there, and you can go to the bank and say, "Hey, I need to pull all $50,000 off of it today," and that's not fraud because you can use it to buy a house. You can use it for your business and things of that
Respect.
sort.
And then, with credit cards, you got to fill out so many applications.
But then, to try to keep up with it. And then, why would I want to get a credit card and my interest is 24%?
Right, and then the interest rate on a house is what's the average rate on the interest?
Well, if you're getting like a line of credit for your business, maybe 10%. So why would I want to pay 24% interest on something and I could just go get a business line of credit and use that to fund my business?
Yeah, I'm trying to stir some stuff up.
Yeah, because people don't know the information either, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This is why I'm telling her she needs to get in front of the camera.
Right.
And give that information out.
People don't know the information, yeah. And that's why we need people like you to give the information. It ain't gonna be free, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't think it.
You know what's good though? What I realized, like when we do drop gems, like for instance, when I gave people Dispute B and Credit Strong, it may seem like we're giving that away for free, but the viewers, they get some real life stuff they can use.
Right.
And we catch our money on the back end from the advertising revenue.
Right.
So I don't know if a lot of people understand that concept, because some people like with Bandman Cavo, for instance, they would get mad at him for giving out so much game that worked, because a lot of people want to gatekeep the information, but they ain't realize you think he's giving it away for free, but he's then figured out how to keep you tuned in every week, every episode, and
I'm gonna give you a snippet.
And them streaming numbers is where he's getting his money from. So yeah, don't ever feel like you giving it away for free. You getting paid. It's coming.
What you say? What's your saying?
No, I found that in a book somewhere. It says give the what and the why and sell the how.
That's deep. One more time for the listeners if y'all ain't catch that.
You give away the what and the why, and you sell the how.
That's deep. I ain't never even think about that.
That's going over my head. I'm gonna
research that.
I'm gonna look into it
because I need to process that for real. I need to process that for real.
Once you figure, you gonna wake up in the morning like, oh, I see why Mo proposed.
Yeah, I already see it. You ain't even got to. You ain't even got to tell me yet. But last but not least, we do have a segment. We kind of want the listeners to kind of learn from or try to gain some knowledge from them. Let Poe go ahead and give it to you.
Yeah, so we got to get the lab exclusive. We ask, all the guests that come on the platform to leave an impression on the people. Leave us with some type of story or situation that just brought out any emotion, whether it was happy, sad, good, or bad. We give you a moment to think it over or whatnot, but, leave an impression on the people. We got to get the exclusive. He should be used to this. By the way, this is not Big Business Kelly. This is his second appearance.
Yes,
I think he's the first person with a second appearance.
No, we had one. No. Yeah, this is the first. Yeah, give it up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you manifested all of this for us. People don't know that. Man, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You manifested all of this for us. Yeah, salute to you for that, man.
This is a start though. This is just a start, family. Because like I said, I keep seeing y'all in some stadium or something doing a podcast. I mean, a show. That's what we got to get away. This is not a podcast.
This is a show. Stab Lab
These
show
boys
for sure.
have a media outlet.
Yes, sir.
We can continue to grow from it. You got the Stab Lab, and then you may have somebody else who does hair that want to. But we got to put them on the Stab Lab media platform, network. But I would say something I want to leave you with is we just went to Houston now. We're doing the cleaning in the NRG, and my whole goal was to go down there. I'm thinking the pricing was going to be the same and different things like that. But general, it's $7.50 that's how much an hour down there.
Damn.
In Houston?
Yes, sir.
An hour?
Minimum
like to work?
Wage.
Yes, minimum wage is $7.50.
In Houston?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. We just came from Houston. It's beautiful down there.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, they got the jewelry and the clothes and all that, but they're so behind.
Damn.
So I went down there with the same thing far as the market analysis, and in New Orleans is not too far from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They're $11 an hour, so that's what I compared. Was New Orleans and Texas minimum wage. So and I'm fighting to get the minimum wage. Well, not to get the minimum wage up, but to get the bill rate up, because they're trying to give me a crazy number, like $3-4 higher than what the minimum wage is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Expect me to pay the people, pay insurance, pay taxes.
That's impossible.
It's just completely impossible.
Yeah.
But what I did was stood up for myself. I didn't care if it was a stadium with cleaning and none of that. You have to stand up for yourself. In order to get what you want and get to where you want to go, you have to stand up for yourself and know your information. Like she said, do the market research, understand the area you're in. So I was able to get it up to $15.
Okay,
cool.
Shout out to you, man. Yeah.
But the goal, what I'm saying right now, is stand up for yourself. Don't back down because there's no corporation or there's somebody that you heard about that got this and got that. you know, you are the person. You are the one. So continue to fight and stand up for yourself.
Respect.
Most definitely, man. Shout out to you, man, for putting that extra umph on everything that you do, man. Everything that you do, man. I just be so excited, man. Like my brother really out here working, man, and you just don't see that no more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to play around with their craft. A lot of people don't want to go 100% of what they doing. They think they made it, but then they be like, okay, they stop. You know what I'm saying? I never see you content. You know what I'm saying? I never see you stopping what you're doing.
Because 3 years ago, I made a goal. You know, I got a goal. I got 2 more years to hit that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm nowhere close to it. So I got to keep going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I sometimes, when different things come through, and I sit back like, damn, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I can't get comfortable with it.
Right.
Especially when the person right here telling me go get some new money.
Mm-hmm.
Go get some new money. We tired of stadiums. You know, that's cool, Mario, but hey, what about all these buildings on the east side?
Mm-hmm.
So when you got somebody that's behind you, that's pushing you, and we're so much like the same, even though you may see us dressed out and have a suit and a nice dress on or whatever.
But it's normal. I mean,
that's normal, but usually we jogging suits and whatever we can find in the car, you know what I'm saying? It's just normal. This is a normal person, and that's what I needed, was somebody that understands me. You know? That's why I love Golden Goose, because they're the shoes that's worn down, and a lot of people think they're some old shoes or something, but that's just my style. And that's how she is.
That's what you rocking?
That's what I always.
I've been trying to figure it out that the whole podcast. Like,
I seen you.
I'm like, what kind of shoes? I've been
Like they
thinking.
look like Converse.
I thought they was
I thought they was Bape at first.
Yeah, Bape. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Golden Goose.
Damn, that's what's up. Yeah, Scooch be heavy on the Golden Goose.
Oh, I ain't never heard of them before.
Yeah,
shout out to Golden Goose, man.
Little store in Somerset.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
I love them. Okay, all right.
So, but yeah, keep pushing, man. Keep believing in yourself, believing in your purpose. Like you said, we all have a purpose here in life. So don't never, think that your time, the seed that you're planting is going, like she said, bear the fruit instantly. No, you got to put that work in. Shout out to the Michigan Chronicle for motivating me in 2020.
respect.
I thought I was going to be able to get the 40 under 40. I felt I had Shinola. I had this 1-4 plant. I'm getting money. I'm cleaning all the houses in the city. When I filled out for the 40 under 40 award, they told me, hey, man, you need to do a little bit more work. Then I went through the list and seen the people who won. It was a guy who sold cars at a car dealership, a DJ. I'm like, what? More work? I'm like, all right, that was motivation. So that's why when you see me doing them lives and I'm in the plant, that's where it started from.
No, the same with us. We was blessed enough to be even on the radar for nominated for best podcast in the city with the Detroit Choice Awards or whatnot.
That's good.
And I had no idea. Cal might be a little bit more in tune, but when we found out we didn't make that top 3 placement to be announced for the winners, I told Cal, they ain't gonna do nothing but just put a fire under our feet.
And it did.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we wasn't even on the radar or nothing, but we worked Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
That's a fact.
We went through the motions for every single thing. We never deterred, not one day. So, again, I feel you on that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the motivation. What was that? What's that award? Detroit what? Choice Award?
Detroit Choice Awards.
Come on, I ain't nominated for something.
Even the community under the awards of just last week. What was that with the somebody asked like what podcast y'all listening to, and we wasn't even in there. And throughout the whole comments, everybody like Stab Lab.
Yep. And I didn't see your name, and I know you up there. You know what I'm saying, on the Detroit Choice Awards.
She don't. That's another thing too. They don't give my baby the credit she deserves.
But we giving you the credit at the Stab Lab Network today, man. We misfire your landlord.
Though. We about to run it in all lanes, man. From the real estate to the TV shows, media outlets. I got Tay with the music. Shout out to my brother Tay, man. He just dropped some good music. Y'all go check that out, man.
Most definitely.
We it's our time.
But we got to
come on. What I want to say, August 25th through the 27th, man. I'm inviting you guys to Invest Fest in Atlanta.
You hear that? Okay, you hear that, Shelby? You hear that?
Invest Fest.
We just seen that. Yeah, we just seen that.
27th, man.
We just seen that.
Bring everything.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And I think that may be my 3rd interview.
Wow, bro.
Okay.
Thank you so much, bro, for inviting us today. You know what I'm saying?
And do the interview down there.
We've been talking about that since last year, and we thought they was doing it in London.
Well, so what they're doing is they got an Invest Fest tour where they're going London, Ghana, Chicago, and if you all want to go to Chicago in October, that's the they hitting a couple spots, but the actual Invest Fest every year is going to be in Atlanta.
Okay.
So they just gonna still hit different spots, but that's the ultimate. That's the one.
We're looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. But we need your story, Miss Sade. Come on, let's go ahead and rock it out real quick.
Well, I'm gonna just bring it back.
You can give us some advice or whatnot either.
I'll just bring it back to what we was talking about. If I had never took a chance and reached out to Keisha and approached her and said, "Kate, what you do?" I wouldn't be in this position. So because you don't know what you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. And you got in that cheat code to life, or because the cheat code to life was our grandparents and things that those people elders before us. And so just like the cheat code to life, because they gave us a lot of advice and how to live and things to do. Even with business, you need a cheat code, and get you a mentor and meet with people, get with like-minded individuals. So that you can take your business to the next level.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I really hope that y'all took what we said today and do something with y'allself, man. We got a lot of people out here, you know what I'm saying?
Said that like you fed fuck up.
I am, man, because there's so much information out here now, man. And I feel like we have this platform for a reason. And we just trying to do God's work, man. Try to share our information. Try to help as many people as possible, with our platform. And I just pray that everybody take this, take heed to this information and build a business. You know what I'm saying? Try to get out that 9-to-5 mindset. I know it's hard right now, especially with the inflation and these crazy times right now, but it's people out here like Mr. Believe 313 and Miss, Fire Your Landlord and us, you know what I'm saying, to help you grow from this. But you can also, just pray over it. That's my main thing. Just pray over it. You know what I'm saying? Basically, prayer works. And I always get on here and say that, but some people, they don't believe in it, and that's cool.
But that's to piggyback off what he said. But I don't. The reason I work also is to show people that a 9-to-5 you can get up, because there's some people out here in this world that's not built for nothing but work.
Yes, exactly.
And if you are an entrepreneur, I suggest that you find that person.
Yeah.
You have to find somebody that wants to be an employee and not you.
Yeah.
And I always say, go back to Portia with Good Vibes. She has a young lady named Portia that wants to work, that's there all the time. Mia Ray has Chrissy. Chrissy doesn't want to start no business. She just want to help Mia do what she has to do.
Right.
So you have to find somebody that's, equally yoked in the business with you.
And to give credit to working a 9-to-5 job, it takes a certain level of strength and mentally to be tough enough to go ahead and push through that. So I don't knock it. I take my hat off to it. You know what I mean? Like you said, if we was playing chess, there's so many different pieces on the board that all play equally important roles. Yes. You know what I mean? So it's cool. You got capos, you got everybody listed all the way down. You know what I mean? So
most definitely, man. But shout out to y'all for stopping by the Stab Lab podcast, Stab Lab Network. Yeah, we looking forward to working with y'all in the near future. I hope and pray that y'all business just flourish out of the God's blue sky. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna take it.
About y'all.
Yeah, y'all gonna take it. Y'all gonna take it to the highest of the highs. You know what I'm saying? But you can follow us, like I said, at the Stab Lab Network on Instagram, the Stab Lab Podcast, on YouTube. Where can they find you at, my brother?
You can find me at Believe 313 on Instagram, Facebook. My website is believe313staffing.com.
And then I'm Sold by Sade on Instagram. Is sold_by_Sade. And then on Facebook, it's just Sade Harper.
A lot of people get that mess their name up when they get to spelling it. So I'm glad y'all did get on that. Can they find you at, my brother?
Lord Poe on IG, and then everydaypoe.com.
I want to say one more thing, man. I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but this is the beginning of summer. We just had 2 incidents that happened downtown. So, I'm putting the pressure on all the OGs, all the older guys of those neighborhoods. It's about being responsible for your neighborhood. No, we ain't got to be responsible for all of Detroit. Just take heed of where you're from. hold those young guys accountable because we
'cause it's
really
getting out of
dealing
control.
with unmedicated kids, bro.
Yes, we are,
Yeah.
and we talk about that all the time.
So it ain't about no snitching no more. It ain't about no fake ass shit no more. It's about being a real nigga right now, a real man, and stopping these kids from killing kids, old women. Back in the day when I was a kid and my grandparents and my mother and them were growing up, it was rules to it.
Yep.
Kids and elderly people were off limits.
Yep.
And then for the kids, come on and do something with yourself, bro. Going downtown where Dan Gilbert spent $15 million on cameras with a gun is retarded.
Yeah.
You're gonna get caught. It's like they don't even
Quick.
care no more.
Listen, man,
Caught real quick.
I got so many people I'm a vendor for the BOP. What that means is when you go to the feds or you go to jail and you go to the halfway house, I'm the only person that can get you out. So I'm dealing with guys who's doing 40 and 30 and 20 years. I just need to have them sit down with these kids because the message that they're telling me that's going on behind the walls, it'll change your whole life. So big fellas in these neighborhoods, step up, do your job, hold these little kids accountable.
Man.
And then you young fellas, man, come get a job.
Man, listen, everybody be responsible for themselves. It shouldn't even take a big homie, bro. Stop being a crash dummy, bro. Ain't nothing cute, cool about it. The little girl you trying to impress, she's not going to be there. Moms and them ain't about to put up no money for it, man. It's just a waste of your life and time. And honestly, it's not even cool.
Yeah, and as a parent of a son, it's scary.
It
I'm
is.
scared to raise him in a city like this. These people just, I don't know.
It's just too much nonsense, man. It's time to cut it out. Because a lot of people not stepping up and saying, like, this is not cool because they profit off of the nonsense and the war within the community and stuff. So, you got good human beings. Forget the race, color, all of that. You got good human beings with good hearts that's telling you it's time to cut the nonsense out.
Yes, sir, man. So,
Thank God.
yes, please, 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 let's come together as a community and try to help these young kids out. These teenagers, man, it's a different type of time right now. I don't know what's going on, especially in the city of Detroit. It ain't even got hot yet for real. And like you said, y'all gonna see this in a couple days, man. And I need y'all to take this message and run with it and spread it as much as possible, man. But once again, I appreciate y'all for coming to the Stab Lab podcast. I pray that everybody have a good week. Stay smart, stay safe, man, and prayers up. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.